What are 5 things you need to ask your family law attorney before you make a decision to hire them? Hi, my name is Ron Payne. I'm the CEO and managing partner of Payne Law here in Kernersville, North Carolina. And today we're going to talk about the 5 important questions you should be asking your lawyer before you make a decision on who to hire. As you can imagine, hiring a family lawyer for any situation is a stressful and difficult decision. And so we just wanted to give you some tips before you walk in and ask somebody to take over the responsibility of helping you care for your children and make sure that the custody and everything is handled the way you want to, that you know what to ask. The first question that you should ask anytime you're getting ready to hire a lawyer is this the kind of matter that you handle on a regular basis? For example, you wouldn't hire your bankruptcy attorney to do your divorce, and you wouldn't hire your divorce attorney to do your bankruptcy. Now, some attorneys practice multiple areas and can be good at those areas, but you do want to make sure that the lawyer that you're talking to and that is going to be handling your case is comfortable handling these kind of matters, and that the firm you're working with is something they do regularly. So you would want to ask, is this the kind of family matter that you handle regularly? Do you handle custody cases? If you're looking to do more of an agreement-based resolution, are you more oriented towards handling a separation agreement and a custody agreement? Or are you looking more to take things to trial? What's your usual strategy? What's your usual method for resolving these cases? Some attorneys are much better at handling cases in court and keeping those things moving and really advocating for you before a judge. And other attorneys are better at peacemaking, working out resolutions. And some attorneys are great and comfortable with both. The team here at Payne focuses on resolving family disputes, custody, support, etc. We try to resolve those by agreement whenever possible because we recognize just how expensive it can be to handle your family law case. At the same time, if a resolution is not possible by agreement, then we're not afraid to take those cases to court and to fight for you and to fight for your children so that we can make sure at the end of the day everybody is safe and well cared for. Now, the second question that you ought to be asking about is, how much is this going to cost me? Now, understand, in family law particularly, there's no guarantees. If a case becomes more litigious, more contested, more aggravating than you originally hoped for, maybe you were hoping it was going to be amicable, and then things just kind of turn south. There's never a guarantee, but you should have an idea when you go in, what is the price range for this? If it goes smoothly, what are we looking at? If it goes worst case scenario, what's a ballpark range for what we're looking for? For example, a typical custody case that goes to court might cost anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000. It could be less, absolutely, but we've had custody cases go for triple that when they get really contested, and you're talking about years and years of litigation, and we hope you never have to go through that. But it is helpful to know up front, if this goes well, what are we looking for cost-wise? And if it goes poorly and it becomes too contentious, then what are we looking for at that point? And that's a fair question to ask. And if they can't give you any answers, or they don't want to talk to you about money, or what are their hourly rates, what are their retainer amounts? Are we talking about a true retainer, or are we talking about just a true hourly retainer where you say, so for example, a typical retainer at Payne Law might be $3,000, where $500 to $1,000 that might be a true, this is what it costs to hire us up front, and then the remainder of that goes towards your hourly balance, or it might be all towards the hourly balance. What's the policy of your firm on replenishing that retainer if it runs out? Or is this a flat fee matter, and this is the total cost? And if it is a flat fee case, are there any expenses not included in your flat fees? Well, we try to disclose every fee that you might come up against or what's included in our flat fees. Not every attorney knows to articulate that, and so you want to make sure that if they tell you it's going to be $3,000, you know, is it $3,000 plus court fees? Is it $3,000 plus expert fees? Is it $3,000 plus copies? Or what's included in that? Now, the next thing you want to say and ask an attorney that you're considering hiring is, what is the timeline for this? And what are the possible range of outcomes? For example, are we looking at a case that might be resolved in 3 to 6 months, or are we thinking this is going to be 6 to 12 months? Of course, if you're doing it by agreement, 3 to 6 months might be more than enough time. If you're talking about going to trial, 3 to 6 months is aggressive, at least for full resolution. You might be able to get to a temporary hearing, but you're not typically going to have a full multi-day custody trial if that's what your case requires in the next 3 months. Those calendars fill up pretty quickly. And it's just good for you to know, how long is this process going to take? Also, it's a lot on the parents, and it's stressful for the kids. So knowing what your timeline is going to look like will help you feel more prepared for what you're going to run into over the next weeks and months as you work with this attorney. The next question we want you to answer is, who am I going to be working with? Not all the time is the attorney you consult with going to be the primary contact on your case. Frequently it is. But if it's not going to be, then you want to know who that is. For example, frequently when you work with Apple Payne Law, you're not only going to be working with the attorney, with Mr. Granger, with Ms. Spisak in our office, or myself, but you're also going to be working with our paralegals and our office manager and our clerks comprehensively. It's good to know who you're going to be working with, and asking how do you want to be communicated with? Not all attorneys want to do telephone. Not all attorneys want to do email. Some attorneys do text message. Some attorneys don't do text message. For example, at Apple Payne Law, you can text our main number and we'll be able to respond to you that way. But generally speaking, our attorneys don't give out their cell phone numbers because if we did that, we'd never get off the phone and we couldn't get things done with the interruptions that would happen. So it's just good to know, how long is this going to take? What are we looking at coming out with? What's the outcome going to be? What's the best way to communicate with you? The last question I want you to ask any potential attorney you're going to work with are, what are the major problems or roadblocks that you see in my case? We all want to think that our case is we have the winning case and the other side has nothing to stand on. But frequently there are roadblocks on every side of a case. And it's so important to know, what are we up against? And what do you see as the attorney as the major challenges in my case? These are the things that could make it more expensive or make it cheaper, make it take longer or make it go faster, depending on these roadblocks. And those are the questions you want to know, because then you'll have an idea if one of those things comes up, okay, this happening means that this is what's going to happen next. And it's just good stuff to know. So I hope those 5 questions, again, just to recap really briefly, are, 1, is this an area of law? In this case, family law is what we're talking about. Is family law a case that you handle regularly, and do you handle litigation or just, agreement resolution, or both? How much money is this going to cost? What's the range of fees that we're looking at? What are some possible outcomes in my case? Who am I going to be working with? And what are the major problems you see in my case? If you need help with your case, we'd be happy to help you at Apple Payne Law. Feel free to reach out to us on our website to set up a consultation or give us a call at 336-281-6928. That's 336-281-6928. Or you can visit us on the web at applepaynelaw.com. And you can also, if you're looking for just more information, you can check out our website and you can visit us on YouTube, like and subscribe. Again, we hope this has been helpful and we wish you all the best. And I hope you never have to go through a family law case, but if you do, rest assured that the team at Apple Payne Law will be here to take care of you every step of the way. Thanks. Have a great day.